the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you started to eat 'em. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat. Once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these. Cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just heat it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven. Catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. that will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's 2 curls out of the 1 potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the 2 colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. On my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in 2. Serve them on the half shell, just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast. Why, they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers? Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known...
Hello there, how we doing this evening? Welcome everyone in. Hope you're all having a good day. We've got some bread fermenting here that I'm starting off with here. I'm going to go ahead and mix up the rest of this stuff for that. Going to be making from, yeast and flour here, we're going to be making bread for our meatball subs. We got tomatoes, whole bunch of tomatoes here. These are just organic Romas. These are some beauties that I got. Not sure. Well, actually, I probably do know what variety they are. Actually, I don't know because it isn't listed on the box. But I got those guys in my. If you saw on Twitter today, I posted a beautiful photo of the produce box that I got at the farmer's market earlier today. And these guys were in there, so we're going to use those for the sauce. I'm going to grab the peppers out of there too. We're going to use the peppers in the sauce tonight too. I'm going to roast the peppers and the tomatoes off. Should get the oven started for that. Get a fan on. Kill that mic for the moment. Oven on to 400 degrees here. It's already hot in the kitchen. Ugh. I'm going to be sweating tonight. So, first thing to do here, let's grab ourselves some peppers. Should have gotten these out earlier because it's a little bit of a project with all the stuff I got in the fridge right now. Aw, I'm sorry, Big Davy. Thank you for that tip. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What was the message? It should have said it, with the fact I didn't get any, let's see here. Yeah, Stream Elements is up there because the text is working. I don't know why I didn't get an alert for that. But, thank you very much. I apologize for that you didn't get that alert. Let me see if... Let's do that. I didn't get any of that audio in my earphone. Which, I think my audio's messed up right now, maybe. There we go. Now at least my earbud's working. Get some music going. And I'm sorry I didn't get your message with that. But I saw it on the... I can read it here. But let's throw a little fennel in this sauce too, since I have it to use up. Grab a couple of these guys for later. Grab this guy for later. And peppers. Wow, we're really using a lot here tonight. I could even break into the onions here. But, oh, why not? Let's use the onions up, too. That's one. Wow. Yeah, I like I'm not a big fan of licorice. I'm not a big fan of the whole anise flavor. That said, I do really like it as a background note. I do like putting it in stocks, and like it'll work well for this too as a little background. Throw our box of goodies back in the fridge here. Give these Corno de Toros a rinse. Let's just take some of the top here, though. We'll save the rest of this for later. Thank you for the follow there, Blake Erickney. Welcome in. And welcome in, Head Mama Bear. Oh, no worries. Just sort of big slabs here for roasting. Actually, let's do that. How is everyone doing tonight? That is my first brew here in almost a year. We've got a apple cinnamon sizer. So it's wildflower honey, DV10 or DV10 yeast, a whole bunch of apples from a variety of trees in my backyard that I blended up, and about a pound of honey. It's still going too strong here. I intend to fill it up here towards the top, but need a little bit more of these solids to settle out and make happy. So it's been a week now, I think, since I started that, and I'm giving it a good spin here at least once a day to make sure all this stuff is getting mixed in with all the yeast, keeping the yeast the dominant in the bottle. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with that. There's a lot of politics and stuff right now. I really hope that they come to a deal so that the Restaurants Act or the Restaurants deal that was rolled into the relief bill right now that they're fighting over, I really hope that goes through, because we're going to have a lot of restaurants that just don't exist if it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been paying too much to all the international. Just gonna quarter up these beauties. Beautiful, nice, ripe tomatoes there. Nice skin on these. I need to know what variety these are because I go for this farm a lot, but these have a great skin to them. It's a nice firm skin, and yeah, it holds together well, like the aromas I expect to, although it's got like actual sauce going there. Instead of, I expect most of these aromas to be very dry and neat inside. Because these are the commercial guys. Making this dish a little bit cheaper. Yeah. You compare that in color. Newcastle. I'm gonna have to start learning UK geography now, because all you guys in there that I have out there. And this guy is exactly like I was saying here. You got like there's let's see if I can't compact this a little bit more. Fit a few more tomatoes on here. Don't really have to roast all of them. Okay, we'll leave those last two and throw those in with the onions and stuff later. Set this back on the stove. That was sort of convenient. So we'll just throw that right in. Oh. Let's get that a little salt up here first. Why is that so... Oh, no, it's not. Again, I normally have kosher salt or something else that I bought a bunch of fine salt by accident, so I've been using that up a little bit. MSG. Just a little bit of a drizzle of oil here. So we'll throw that in the oven. And we'll look at it in 20. I expect the tomatoes to take about 40. I'm not sure if this is an onion or a ginormous shallot. Should be an onion. But it's got that side thing going on like a clove, like a shallot. Whoa, we gotta catch up here. Hey, Ad Hoc, welcome in. How's your day going tonight? Day, tonight, what have you? Check up on a little bit more chat here. I've just been working. Okay. I see you figured that out, Davey. Good morning. Good afternoon, good night. I don't know. I use Chrome because I need it for a couple of sites, but I'm not a big fan. I always found Firefox to be just as fast, not counting the initial load up screen. Like, the initial load up of Firefox is considerably slower. But and I don't like it's refreshing. Like, if you leave it to sort of monitor web pages or something like that, it doesn't refresh well. Doesn't update well. You gotta sit there and do hard updates to a thing to like social media to actually get it to update. At least that's my experience. Yep. Battle. I'm gonna finish this onion first. Allen. Sure, onion, I guess. Sort of half shallot, half onion thing here. Dry tip off. $11 units. Ready for war here, apparently. Ooh, all sorts of stuff popped up here, though. Let's see how we do. This is looking rough. victory. Hard-earned victory there. Welcome in, Entropy. Grats, Entropy and Pew. Grats me. Yay, hard map. Got guys all over the place there. So, gonna need a lot more help than just my tank there. Alright. Back to this goodness. Garlic, that's why I'm over here. Walk halfway across the kitchen and figure out. Have to remember why I'm over there. I thought we were too, Entropy. That was a close one. I think they gave it to us. We really needed more defense for the archers there. Because we got flanked. Really need to get going on this dough too, but this should be a relatively... We should be having a pretty good game of Stream Raiders here tonight. We got at least 2 hours working on this bread, and I haven't even started on it. Went out shopping to the farmer's market and to one store to get the last few couple of things that I needed. Forgot the mozzarella. Had to make an extra trip just for the mozzarella. Also, I apologize to anyone that was in the game the end of the last stream. I totally spaced on finishing the last map, and I think I did it yesterday afternoon. This is going to be a blended sauce, so I'm going to chop up the garlic sort of fine here, but I'm not concerned with it being, you know, Goodfellas like that. Get a flame going on our sauce pot here. Probably pour olive oil. Got a bag of chicken stock out from actually the first day I started streaming here on Twitch. Did a stock stream. Got another one of those coming up here. I forget when, but it's in the next month. I got 4 or 5 carcasses in the freezer now waiting for that. We're going to turn on, we're going to do a little fan noise now. Add our garlic in. not so much an interest in the fennel fronds. They're just going to turn things bitter. They're too thin, they're going to overcooked. There's too much green going on, so there's too much chlorophyll, which means it's going to be bitter. Not necessarily right off the bat, but in general, when you have something that's dark and green, you cook it, it's going to be bitter. Turn this down to more of a sweat temp now. That with a bit of salt. Black pepper. Thank you for that follow, Trikova. Nice, Lockmaster. There's a lot of people struggling right now. Thank you for that follow, Nico Owl. Ooh, I can just smell that like anise. So, relatively small amount here compared to our onion and garlic. So that'll be sort of in the background. It's not going to be major note to the sauce. I mean, we got all this deep roasted tomato. We got these guys here to chop up and throw in too. Just couldn't fit these on with the pan with the others. Yeah, I messed that up. Again, I'm going to end up blending all of this, but I'm cutting it up nice and fine, mostly so that it cooks through quickly. Take a look at what we got going on in the oven. Oh, that's definitely going to need some more time. I'm just going to go ahead and give that the full 40 minutes to another 20. Actually, I'm going to steal a little bit of that, save it with our salad. Actually, that was a bad container to do that with. Let's do that for a salad. For any of you new lurkers, followers, joiners to the show, hello. Hi, I'm Jason. I cook here on Twitch 3 nights a week, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Wednesdays I've just started doing ingredient challenges, and on the other ones you can find in my schedule down below. I've got upcoming dates for essentially the next month. Probably got a month and a half planned ahead, which is completely different from the way I started doing this. When I first started streaming, and I hope to one day go back to, I used to just go out to farmers markets. I have local farmers markets here in Sonoma County on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And I used to just pick up whatever is fresh and work with it that night. I do hope to do that some here in the future, but right now just about everything is planned ahead because I'm trying to plan shopping trips and do as many or as short as few visits as I can to places. Went out to the farmer's market today, got up a bunch of veggies from local farmer, bought myself a beautiful produce box. Threw a picture of that up on Twitter. You can also find all of my food photos on Instagram. So for tonight, we've got on the stove, start some onions, garlic, and fennel top. And that's the start to our tomato sauce. We got some Corno de Toro peppers, some Romas, and a couple of other tomatoes that I'm not sure the specific variety of. There's 4 of them. They're absolutely gorgeous. We're roasting all of that off. Gonna get that nice and dark and jammy. And we'll mix it in with this and blend it all up a little bit later. Throw these fresh tomatoes in with the onions and garlic. Thank you, Luna. Welcome back in. Thank you for that follow. Once we get those tomatoes broken down a little bit, I'll add in the chicken stock and just let that simmer. Let's get our dough working. Take the cutting board out of the way here. I just oiled it so I don't want to cover it with flour from dough, which is immediately just going to pull all that oil right back up. Ooh. So we have our beginning ferment, which I posted an update on Twitter last night. This is 100% hydration, so we got 150 grams of strong flour or AP flour or good white flour, and 150 grams of water, bunch of yeast, a little bit of salt. And we're going to add more flour to this. We're going to add wheat flour to this now, or bread flour. And we're going to add some more water, some more salt, and some more yeast. Might be just about all that I got left here. About 100 grams. That's good enough for me. Need to buy more bread flour now. Actually, let's keep going with that. We're going to do how much more water here? 33 grams. It's not much at all now. One over there, and throw a bit more yeast in there. I think I sort of overdid the yeast as it is. If you notice this, I started this about 18 hours ago. You really more want like 12 hours. This is actually a little overproofed at this point. Thank you for that follow, Miss Alana Sims. And you do want to keep your salt and yeast apart, but I don't think we're going to have problems with that. So we're going to add all of that back in here. Really wet. Really sticky dough. We're just going to mix this till it comes together here. To start, try and pull as much off the bowl as I can. Sort of use this to almost coat what I have now. Actually, let's go back to the stove there. I'm going to add in that chicken stock now. Which, homemade on stream back in early July. So that's 24 ounces of good chicken stock. I'm going to throw this away, be right back. Grab my water glass while I'm at that. going to be drinking here in a little bit, so good to be hydrated. Put my coffee scale back. No, off, not 0. There we go. And then yes, I'm actually going to attempt to knead this. This is a relatively small batch of dough. I'm actually cutting the recipe in half. And so this should only be about 2 sub rolls here once it gets all rehydrated. So we're doing a good 5-10 minutes here of lift and fold method. Working that dough. Just doing our best to work on all of those bits from earlier. Almost want to do this back normal kneading method here. It's almost there. I mean, it's quite sticky, but I almost feel like this is too dry from what I understand. It's starting to stick to the table a little bit here, but I am not experienced in making ciabatta. This is a new experience for me. And so have watched and read a little bit on this. And it just seems to me like there's a little drier than what I've seen from other sites and stuff. We'll go with it though, because it's... What other choice do I have? It's a little too small to do the sort of lift and fold. Of course, my hands are covered in dough when the battle goes. I gotta use the mouse. Oof. That was a little bit better. Oh, we got everyone in here. Welcome in, Pew, Big Davy, Mama Bear, Trigger. Only one guy in the field here, so I'll put my tank next to him. And we'll go back to rolling dough, because this needs a little bit more kneading time. I'm just defaulting back to my normal kneading method here since it's a little too small for, like I was saying. Gonna need a glass of wine after this. So this is just sort of the start of the kneading here. And I think I'm going to stop there with that and answer the stove. Apologize for the beeper. Welcome in, Landiggity. How you doing this evening or morning, or I'm never quite sure what time it is for you. Got people all over the world here. We got Big Davy from UK, and you're down under. Oh. Okay. Why was I thinking you were... Okay. Welcome in. I'm sorry, don't have a shout out for you yet. Everyone should go give Mr. Landiggity a follow too, but okay, so we got stuff coming out of the oven. I didn't mean to stop the music there. Those still need more time. I can probably pull the peppers out. They're not really heavily roasted. Like I said, we're pureeing this all in. Might as well just throw it in the sauce. Also should let you guys in on the secret here that tonight's sauce is not just for tonight, it's for tonight and Sunday. Gonna be doing Italian, it's gonna be National Italian Sausage Pizza Day, I think it is. So I'm gonna be doing Italian sausage and black olive pizza, pan pizza. First time I've tried doing pizza here on stream. I don't have a proper stone or anything like this, and so relying on a pan. So the sauce is going to be both for the pizza on Sunday and for tonight's subs. Where's that emote from? Diggity? Sabrina Solo Show. Am not familiar. So many people on Twitch. So we're gonna grab, hey, just so we happen to have a bowl right here. Actually, we want a larger one anyways. Oh, I think I saw something about her. She's got like on the back of her feet too. So like that would completely throw me off. Like it's not she's tapping with the front of her feet. She's bouncing up and down. Yeah, that takes some talent. A little oil in the bowl so it doesn't stick. I'm pretty happy with this at this point. Could be kneaded a bit more, but we're going to actually do the lazy kneading method here to knead it even further. So we're going to put it in this bowl. We're going to set ourselves a 20-minute timer, both for this and for the oven. We'll come back to this and we'll envelope fold it or square fold it, whatever have you, whatever your term you prefer. We're going to give it 4 folds on each of the 4 sides. After we do that 3 times, so we get another hour of proofing here, do one final cut in half, do a final 30-minute proof, and then we'll be cooking in the oven. So we got a little while to go, but I haven't even started into the meatballs, so Yeah. I couldn't. I have enough. There's a local artist here that does the farmers markets all the time, and he's got a kickbox, and just watching him do that, I'm like, yeah, no. I don't have coordination to do drums, much less guitar and drums and. I'm amazed by a lot of these musicians on Twitch. Even though I know a lot of it's just simple riffs and looping, it still amazes me. So, let's see. Are we going back to chocolate? We're going to do our meatballs now. I'm going to play with meat. That smells good just right there. That tomato and that little bit of aroma in there and those peppers, it already smells like a tomato sauce. Flour away. I just cleaned this beginning of the stream. Why does everything get dirty so quick? Alan's in here tonight. Alright, next up, meatballs. I need a bowl for that, so I gotta clean some bowls here. Well, excuse you, Drain. Well, truth be told, you even got me on that too, Antigone, because I bought a guitar when I was in high school. I played a number of other instruments. I just never learned it. It's still in my parents' back basement, I think. And it's not in good condition. Yep, that says it. Because in high school I went through and did trumpet, baritone, and tuba, so I learned both treble and bass. But yeah, I sort of gave up on the whole me doing the instruments thing at some point in high school. bowl off here for a moment. So we got leftover ground beef from last stream. We got ground beef and ground pork for our meatballs. And then we got a little bit of bacon. I don't know, I love the look of that. I think I'll cut that little bit out. That's probably good enough for this. Sort of a... I have it defrosted in the fridge. Might as well use it. Is it noodle week still? Know what I'm doing next year? Bacon noodles. Just saying that someone's probably making a YouTube video right now. We'll just have it from there. So we'll add homemade bacon, from the pig. The pig. cut it too close to the seal, and so it's still stuck. Arg. Yep, Becca. We're just getting started here. Well, I say just getting started. I'm hour and a half in. But, we got bread to continue rising here. We have just enough for 2 sub rolls there, not a ton of bread tonight. And we got our meatball mixture. I've got tomatoes, onions, garlic, corno de toro, peppers, a little bit of fennel, all on the stove there. And I have a bunch of other tomatoes roasting in the oven. Don't need to make sure it's perfectly mixed, but I do want a little bit of everything in every one of them. So just enough that you get that much in there. Forgetting that I was going to throw a bunch of that dried oregano here into our sauce. No, I'm just not a huge basil fan, I guess. I don't dislike it, but I much prefer it for like tomato basil soup than I do for pasta sauce. I just don't think, even though it's so classic and so many of those combos of basil and tomato, I just don't do it that often. Where are we going with this? We're going to put this guy down in the oven. Start preheating. I think those are going to need more than the 4 minutes there. Is my music playing? Yeah, it is. Hit this with some black pepper. MSG, salt, we'll give that one more good fold. There we go. I'm going to start making our meatballs here. No egg. No breadcrumb. Just meat. They're all gonna end up being like square shaped anyways once I get into them in the pan. That's a meatball. Don't even know how many I'm gonna get out of this. Like I said, I don't know if I said, but that half pound of ground beef was absolutely eyeballed. So I thought about changing things up a little bit with the sub, but I think we're going relatively traditional here. I was thinking of maybe doing a base of spinach for meatballs, add a little greenage. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do that to a meatball sub. So anyone watching Formula One, some interesting news here the last couple days here with, well, first off with the rain out this morning and how much rain there is. This should be an interesting weekend. Hopefully we get some rain on Sunday. But Honda just announced that they're no longer going to be doing engines for Formula 1. Engines. And that sort of leaves Red Bull in a weird spot. But everyone's talking like there's already plans. Ferrari did sort of half open the door to the idea of working with them. Doesn't sound like Renault or Mercedes came out and said they're just not even interested. Give our hands a wash, get all that meat nastiness off of it. These tomatoes still need more time. But we're ready to fold our dough again. And we're ready for another battle here in half a minute. I still haven't opened my wine. I've told myself like 3 times I'm going to open that. Let's do our dough real quick here first. Just a 4 quick fold. Using the stickiness of the bowl to help stretch it out some. Or rather using gravity. Set that back to proof another 20 minutes. Set ourselves another 20-minute timer. Gonna go along with these tomatoes. Let's see how we're looking with our sauce. Yep, that's still smelling yummy. battle. Man, these battles with the new open beta, a lot more complex. The first ones were a lot more simpler, a lot more basic. This one, they're anticipating more people involved and multiple angles. Victory. They did confirm they're working on another game too. Grats Entropy and Head Mama Bear. There's only one guy that I see there, so put my guy right there. I guess. Oh, there's two of them. There's another one down there. Oh well. Got that going. Got our bread set. Got that set. Let's open this wine finally. No worries, Big Davy. Have a good night. Have a good sleep, and hope you have a good day working tomorrow. So I believe I tried this. I know I've tried this brand before, but I think I tried their Cab Sav before. I saw this guy in the store and was like, "Yep, gotta go for it." Bought it for the marketing again, but I really enjoyed this last bottle that I had from them. I don't remember if it was the same red blend or if it was, like I said, I think it was the Cab Sav. Give it another shot. I wonder how many of the things that I was taught about opening a wine or that were faux pas, if all of them are still like faux pas. I'm sure some of them they don't worry about as much. Have a good one, Diggity. Thanks for stopping by. what do we have here for description? Caramel and blackberry, toast and brown spices. Suggesting some heavier foods, so this is probably in the ballpark for it. I don't really get much fruit off of it. I'm not really getting a tobacco off of it, but I'm getting like something in that ballpark. Hey, Miss Lisa Face. How you doing today? What's new? It's got quite a bit of peppery spice to it. Not so much barrel, but more like arugula. See how everything's looking back here. Give our tomatoes a quick glance. About ready to give up on getting lots of color out of those. So we'll go back to making meatballs. Oh, I'm doing quite lovely. I mean, I'm making a meatball sub. How can I not be having a good time? Nice. Glad you can make it. So we got ground beef, ground pork, and some diced up home cured bacon in there. Very lightly seasoned. No eggs, no breadcrumbs. Working on folding our bread here every 20 minutes for our sub rolls. This is going to be just about perfect. Actually, might be a little bit too much for this pan, but and we got the starts of our sauce there on the stove. Which peppers, onions, garlic, little Roma tomato, and got a whole bunch more Romas and a couple other nicer tomatoes roasting in the oven right now. Those are almost, I'm rather almost giving up on getting some good color on those. They've been cooking for over an hour now. No, I've gone through the last garden tomatoes for me. These were, I picked up a beautiful box of produce today. Put a picture of it up on Twitter. And so these are, I got 4 good ones out of that box, and then the rest are Romas that I just bought. They're just commercial Romas. I'm sort of giving up on my plants at this point. I just had a really rough year with my garden. I'm definitely giving up on them now because the smoke. There's just been too much smoke here in Sonoma. The only thing that's left in the garden that I'm still planning on pulling up is I think I've got 2 or 3 carrots. But yeah, normally I'll be pulling tomatoes. Well, if it wasn't for the last couple of years of wildfires, I'd probably be harvesting tomatoes like early November. I love the growing season here. It's just ridiculous. Yep. It's not just California smoke, though. whole west of the U.S. is on fire. But yeah, Sonoma's had 2 of them this year. Yeah, it's really sad, actually. If you look, the sheriff here posted a photo of the lands that have burned in the last 5 years. It's like half the county. So we're going to take this guy and set him over here. Actually, just let him coast for the moment. High as she goes. Yeah, where I am, I'm a little bit more worried about flooding, but yes, very lucky to have, I know quite a few people who have had problems in the last couple of years, and I actually know, market manager, elderly woman, want to say 70s, 80s, and, she's been evacuated for over a week now. And it's not the first time in the last 5 years she's been evacuated. I say market manager, I mean farmer's market manager. Give all these balls a nice salting. Nice salty balls. You notice I didn't throw the salt in the center there, so they're not just falling apart from losing liquid. I'm seasoning them here just before I put them in the pan. No chocolate salty balls. That's a different chef. Well, we're going to give that another sec to warm up. Though back when I lived in LA years ago, I used to know the guy who did the voice for Mr. Slave. Totally not who you would think it is. Oh yeah, I used to hang out at the bar I used to hang at. Worked his ass off for like 16 weeks a year. And collected unemployment and sat in a bar stool the rest of it. Purposely starting off in the cold part of the pan. My pans tend to be, or rather this burner tends to be cooler on this side. But he would literally do like John Hansen or John Hansen, I forget. But he was the post-production manager. I don't know if he still is. And he would literally pull like 16-hour days for a couple weeks in a row for each of their seasons. Nice. We also sort of double said chicken. Cock is a rooster. Or Cocovin. The cock of Cocovin. Nice. That's one I should probably throw on my list to do here sometime. I've done that once or twice. Did a really bad version of it for a restaurant at one point. Oh, that was such a bad dish. You see? That's been in there the longest. How little color that is compared to even this guy next to it. The side of the pan just doesn't heat up. Yep. There's another one. Give the pan a turn here. Nice. Yeah, it's one of those classic dishes that match up of that they're typically more of a well, the male hens or male roosters are typically kept around a much longer, so they're an older animal. They tend to be tougher, so the acid is great for breaking them down. Barely even cooked on that side. You notice with the bubbles too. All the bubbling, all the oil, it's all over here. It's struggling with the baby tongs. So I think we're going to call it there with our roasting tomatoes. Now those take some work. I'm about to fold that bread here in a moment after I get rid of these tomatoes. Welcome back in Untitled Kitchen, Cooking Kitchen. Cut our oven here. Get a look at our tomatoes. I think I'm going to live with those as they are. They're nice and jammy. They're going to give us some good flavor. Oops. There we go. So we'll toss all those guys in here. I like that much better now. I came back to it. Especially now it's opened up. Giving it that good 10 minutes. That's much more approachable now. I do think that I enjoyed the first one better though, so maybe check out the Cab Sav if you guys are interested. But for $10, these have been nice. I'm going to put some of these off on a plate here. I forgot about my dough too. Just use the plate until we're ready to go with these guys. That was the first meatball I put on there. sweat dripping into my eye. Not enjoyable. Tonight might be a big cleanup night, because I'm already feeling lazy about dishes. Give our dough a quick fold here. Four-fold this again. Let that rest another 20. Take off a couple of these meatballs. That guy saw a little too much time there. That guy's looking good. Thank you for that follow. I can't see right now. Welcome in, Peter Matthews. Meant for that to happen. Alright, gonna take this deliciousness over here and puree that up. Wisconsin. Nice. I shall do that. Bring this bad boy over here. This is my 1.5 gallon blender. This is my big boy. Probably would have fit in the small boy. There's more I can get out of that. Exclamation mark dinner, Peter. Or if you give me a second, I'll do that. There you go. battle. Let's do our battle here. Oh, all sorts of stuff popped up. Yeah, Miss. Oh, you can't? Victory. Congrats, Head Mama Bear. Well fought battle. Took out about half of us. Ooh, boss battle. Need all you guys helping out here. Collect my scrolls. Ooh, new skin. They're adding all sorts of new skins. Of course, here with the release. Really need to pull those meatballs off. I'm putting him right up the center here. We're gonna need like something like that. I'm gonna quick pull these meatballs off. Sorry, I know I didn't change the scene, but they need to get out of the oil. Well, that guy can sit there another minute. So there's our meatballs. Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. I thought that was mostly like a Canadian thing. And I'm gonna mute the audio here for a moment and blend this up. There's our tomato sauce. Oh, There's our tomato sauce. So that's tomato sauce, both for tonight and for tomorrow. We're still cutting it a little bit close there, but I think I got enough. We'll move this guy into a back burner. Bring this guy back here. And using my coarsest whisk, or coarsest strainer. Sorry for bumping the camera there. So, no one has to go to the bathroom, right? So we'll get rid of that. That's mostly tomato skins and seeds. Sorry. Not tasting too bad either there. Go back to this guy. Wow, that echo. I gotta work on my ducting. I've been working on it for over a year now. I am by no way, anyway, an audio expert. I wish I could just get this to work. We're gonna add all of these meatballs back in the pan here. Now that they've all cooked, they should fit in here. We're We're going to smother them with sauce, and then we're going to save some of the sauce for tomorrow, or Sunday. Thank you, Miss Lisa. So now we'll coat these. I think I'm going to save the rest of that for that pizza tomorrow. It's quite a bit of sauce for a pizza, though. We'll see. Hi there. Very bright red sauce. Looked a little bit darker in the pan there earlier. Okay, I think that'll be good for our pizza. I'm going to put the rest of this in with the meatballs. Thank you for that follow. Give me a sec to see who did it. There we go. Awesome. Thank you for that follow, John Leon. If I pronounced that right. I'm sure I've heard you say it like 5 or 6 times. And I'm also unsure why my auto shout out didn't work for you either. Pretty sure I just set that up yesterday. Welcome in. Another great culinary streamer here on Twitch. You guys should all give him a check out. Drinking a cheap red blend tonight. There we go. That's the way it should have worked. So we got our meatballs set to go here. These are just going to chill out. Got another minute and a half, or 2 minutes here, till we do our final fold on our ciabatta-esque dough. And then we're into our final rise. Should turn the oven on here for probably about as high as it goes, but $450 will do. I'm doing quite lovely. I mean, I'm making meatball subs. How can I complain? And I've got some gorgeous produce that I got from the farmer's market today. These are little gems. I've been buying these from them regularly. These are like perfect for one-person salad. They're awesome. The flavor on them is just amazing too. I didn't analyze the cork. Those who watch me, I know I analyzed corks. Generic pattern, not specific to the brand. Particle cork. Really fine. So, on the cheaper end, but it's not synthetic. It's just full of some sort of glue that's probably food safe. Tasting pretty good here for, like I said, I think I enjoyed the first one from this Bubo in, I think it was the Cab Sav I had before. This is still tasty, but that other one was great for a $10 wine. This is still worth your money. What did I do with my... I hid it down here. Gonna need mozzarella. Bought a big block of mozzarella here. Gonna be using this for both, obviously, tonight and the pizza on Sunday. Doing, for anyone that's just joining in now, I've made enough sauce for both tonight and Sunday. There's a rather bright but still a somewhat roasted tomato sauce. A little bit of Corno di Toro pepper in there. Little fennel, since I have them kicking around. Otherwise, onion, garlic, tomato, your usual candidates. But I got a big block of mozzarella here for both nights. And actually forgot to buy it and had to make a special trip for it. Just gonna grind what I want for tonight, or shred what I want for tonight. Might even like rip or tear the pieces for pizza, but I'm gonna use about half of this. Okay. I think that's enough for 2 subs. What do you guys think? I'm actually not a big fan of that method, because mechanical things like that, like shredding butter, they create a lot of heat. I wouldn't be surprised if you negate any advantage of making it smaller by using that much mechanical energy. It's a good method for making it nice and small. I just don't. Everyone's got their own opinions about methods. That's the cool thing about cooking. You can do it 20 different ways and end up with the same thing. Of course, you can change something incredibly minor and it'll screw up the whole thing at the same time. Yeah. Much more of a fan of speed and getting it done when it comes to cold butter and dough. Then toss the pizza sauce or tomato sauce back in the fridge for Sunday. Wow, I've got all sorts of tomato sauce all over my fridge tonight, or my stove tonight. Wow. Come on, scraper. Work like a scraper. So I'm giving up on our final 20 minutes here. I'm going to take our dough, give it our final stretch out here. Okay. Slice it in half. We're going to let these rest too. No, I've never made ramen ramen noodles at all. Um, I've done my fair share of Chinese and Asian cuisine, but I never really got huge into the big ramen train here over the last decade or so. I do enjoy some ramen. Should probably put that on the list of things to do here in the future. But yeah, I've never tried making noodles using very alkaline liquid. Always just sort of stuck to the basic noodles and pasta, which in and of itself I'm not very good at. I keep doing it here on stream, but it's because I'm actually practicing it. I haven't done really. I mean, I've had pasta in restaurants and worked with pasta in restaurants, but rarely was it me actually mixing it. Let's toss up our salad here while we're waiting. I am so over dishes tonight. I am not going to enjoy myself in the morning when I look at that when I'm making my coffee. Or tomato from earlier that I saved. And I don't know why I put 2 carrots out here. That guy's going to be more than enough. Give them a second rinse off here. Just to make sure we got them clean. I didn't realize I wasn't on the board for all of that. Sorry, guys. Mm-mm. Love their carrots. They're so much more flavorful than the supermarket carrots. They just got so much more to them. Just so more. So much more. So more. So much more complex. Ooh, we got another battle here. Last minute additions. Alright. Let's give this a shot. Oh, we got people all over. Nice. Yeah, the pathing I don't quite understand on this yet. I guess it just goes for the closest mob. I was hoping that it was going to shoot straight up after the warlord. Victory. Grats Entropy and Trigger. Nice scrolls for you guys. Boss defeated. Next level. Very easy. With like 100 mobs. I'm gonna go left side. Give this a refresh here. It's still gonna be a bit though. I didn't really do this well. I'm going to pinch closed the cut side on these and put that on the bottom now. All sorts of people on Friday nights. Refreshing my follow list here. See who all's out there tonight. We're not... I still got more to go here. Oh, this would be a good time to mention to you guys. We have an ongoing vote here. I don't have any votes yet, I don't think. But we have an ongoing vote here if Discord ever decides to open. Come on, Discord. Let's figure out what's going here. There we go. I gotta refresh the OBS. There we go. Dinner voting. We have Pocky now with 2 votes versus Kiwi. Going to be, this is for next Wednesday. I'm either going to have to use Pocky as an ingredient. I haven't defined what type of Pocky, sort of half on purpose. I don't have plans for either of these, or Kiwi. And basically the idea is between Monday and Wednesday, I'm going to come up with what I have as far as the solid plan. Whichever you guys decide to vote for in the Discord is the one I'll have to work with. And if you look in the Instagram from last week, I worked with popcorn on Wednesday. I made a popcorn cake. I still got a fair amount of that left. We got... show you guys that. Yeah, popcorn cake. And I put popcorn and meatloaf and some more popcorn. Yay, political ads. I also made a popcorn slaw or popcorn coleslaw, which, it was sort of the loser of the night. Popcorn cake, fucking awesome. And the meatloaf turned out great too. You couldn't tell that, I made 1 loaf. You couldn't tell that there was literally 5 cups of popcorn in that meatloaf. It turned out great. So, whichever you guys choose here, I will work with next Wednesday. Got our meatballs just chilling out here. We're waiting on our bread to proof a little bit more. I'm waiting on our oven, I guess. I think this is going to be deliciousness. I can't wait for this bread. It's the first time I don't think it's going to turn out looking proper. But this is the first time I've followed the methods for doing a ciabatta-like dough. And I think I got pretty close, other than the last turn. I think I messed up the last turn. Thank you, Baking Froth. It's a fun recipe. It's a lot like your typical Rice Krispie, but with popcorn, and I used colored sprinkles, salted peanuts, and white chocolate. Almost tempted to go with that first. Yep, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in there. We got our preheated pan. Throw you on just like that. Put you in the oven and put a lid on you. I've got the other half put over the top. We'll give that 10 minutes. Oh yeah, that would be perfect for Halloween. You drop the... you could even just throw candy corn into it. But you really want to do it up. Do a little orange and black frosting and just drizzle that over the top of it. You're all set. Throw a couple of decorations around. Oh yeah. Trying to think up ideas for caramel apples. I'm doing, I think it's the 30th. I'm going to do my Halloween stream. It's already on the schedule, I think, down below. I have next month, month and a half, and upcoming dates down below. And going to be doing... I know I'm going to be doing caramel apples. I'm sort of thinking of different ideas for what I want to do with caramel apples. I don't want to do a traditional caramel apple. What? Oh, I'm doing, excuse me. Stuffed squash with caramel apples. So weird knowing what I'm doing like a month ahead. I think I said acorn, but the honest answer is whatever looks cool at the market. I do know that we get some really beautiful, forgetting the name of it, but it's like this almost bubblegum blue squash that one of the farmers grows. Absolutely great for roasting and stuffing. If I find a couple of those, I'll probably go with it. They're also a great substitute for actual pumpkin. I don't know, many people know. Most pumpkin you find in the store, labeled pumpkin, pumpkin pie, is just other types of squash. Thank you for that follow, Baking Prof. Are you actually a baking professor? Just enjoy baking? I've had a couple professors. Okay. It's a fun art to dabble with. I guess actually you could maybe even call me a former baking professor. Although, not really. I was co-oping in community college and had a couple of days there where the actual baking instructor, I was in charge in co-op of doing, like, there was a student-run restaurant, and the students really, they made all the desserts, but I was really in charge of all of them, and I did all the plating and stuff like that. And so I had a couple of days there where I filled in for the professor. Yeah, I think I've even tried making caramel apple slices before. I used to think wasn't there like a caramel dip you could buy for that sort of a thing? But no, I was actually sort of trying to think of different things that I could do. I want to sort of like core out the apples or something. I don't want to have it like the core of the apple still in there. I want to put something in the center, but it makes it hard to wrap it with caramel then. I haven't put a ton of thought of it into it. I mean, I've got like a month to prepare. I got other things on my plate beforehand. Welcome back, Nan Reader. So we're doing 10 minutes with our sort of forgetting the name now. But another 10 minutes with our dough. We're doing 10 minutes with it covered. We got another 4.5 of that. Then we're doing 10 minutes with the uncovered. Then we'll switch over to the other one. Thank you, Create Mode. I guess I'll hydrate this way too. Create Mode, have you tried using bacon for your drawing? Have you tried using baking fat as a drawing medium? I think that would work great for you. Bacon fat is sort of like my go-to for that nowadays. I saw you were streaming earlier. What were you doing earlier? I didn't get a chance to check in. As I was saying, I was sort of sitting there thinking of drawing with bacon fat and then like hitting it with charcoal or something. Using it more of a like adhesive than a actual drawing medium. Genshin Impact, is that a new one? Anyone new here? I am not Mr. Gamer. I've had my fair share of games back in the past, but the last couple of decades I'm nice. I almost more enjoy watching games these days than I actually do playing them, because it's a lot less involvement on my hand. I can just watch a game on Twitch instead of having to spend a week learning it and doing all these special tricks and then want to switch a week later. Thank you for that follow, Liza. Welcome in. Glad to have you. How you doing tonight? Finish off our bottle here. They still got a decent amount of that, almost like a arugula peppery spice. Not so much like, they said barrel spice on there, but I don't really get so much of that. I don't get so much oak or anything like that. I'm doing lovely. We're having a great night. We're sort of chilling right now, but I got a quick salad I threw together. We got some meatballs that you see there on the main screen. And I've got my first of 2 sub buns in the oven here with another minute left to go until I take the cover off on it. I don't mind oak. I don't like really, really heavy oak, though. I don't know. I don't know if it's an actual word. I say it, though. I mean, it makes sense in terms of describing wine. But, it's not quite tobacco, but they got a tobacco-like flavor going here. You definitely got that blackberry or very dark fruit. I didn't get the fruit right at the beginning, but now I definitely do. And it's very much like coats the entire thing from beginning to end is dark fruit. And then you get this spice, this like peppery arugula spice. And this almost like tobacco-esque flavor to it. There's some other wines that are much more I say Tabasco-esque, or tobacco, not Tabasco. Tobacco. It's like it, but I've had other wines that have a real, like, tobacco flavor. This is, like, imitation tobacco. Depends on who you talk to. I think there's some people here in Twitch who would love a Tabasco wine. Wow, my nose is running tonight too. Be right back. I'm gonna go grab a little allergy medicine. It's so funny in the bathroom. It's just right on the edge of my earbud range. And so it like, depends on which way I'm facing and what part of the bathroom in I actually get sound. I don't think you'd even need a heavy red. You've got some hot sauces that are, I mean, like habanero sauces are very fruity. You could maybe even do like a white wine with habanero. My claim to fame with that is mixing habanero, the white rinds, actually pureeing that with cake frosting. Hot and fat, and then you put it over a cake. I'm giving people bad ideas right now, but yeah, you want to get someone that way, that's how you do it. I went through my hot sauce and hot food phase. I'm definitely over that these days, but yeah, I think my mom still has a collection of my old hot sauces. I've also done I haven't done it on stream, but I mixed what I call my California Asian barbecue sauce. It's literally Zinfandel with a number of Asian ingredients, and it comes out being like an awesome rib sauce. I'll have to do that at some point. It's good braising liquid for just about anything that you're gonna braise. You get that spiciness, you get the umami flavor. A cookbook? No, this is my own creation. But if you think about it, if you're drinking your fair share of Zinfandels, they tend to be spicy, smoky, deep, and rich. It just sort of fits with that sort of a thing. I don't have a big interest in making recipes, and I'll expand further on that. Recipes, it's sort of like patents. First off, you can't copyright a recipe. It's a list of, it's a process. It's something that you can't protect. It's not something that's yours. And so it's turned into this game of books of copyrights where people make recipes, but they make recipes just slightly different than each other. And it's not something I'm interested in jumping into. I'd much rather just make cool food and not worry about, does this match up to X and X recipe from 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Additionally, a fair amount of cookbooks out there are money grabs. If you look at who are making, at least since like the 90s on up, they're like, who's hot right now. And so you have ghostwriters pairing up with whoever the hottest celebrity or whatever it is, and they make a cookbook. I respect the idea of making recipes and wanting to share processes. But I guess doing that by video is how I do that, because I'm not interested in wasting the time writing it all down just to have other people complain about it. So, anyone out there, I'm more than happy to talk you through something I've done, give you a general guideline on what I've done. But I don't keep exact recipes, and I'm not going to give you need to do this to make it perfect. But I love you guys trying out stuff that I do. Oh, let's take our top off. We're going to give that 5 more minutes here. It's already nicely browned on the outside. I obviously left it on there longer than I should have, sitting here talking to you. Well, there's that create mode. And the reality is, when it comes to restaurants, especially fine dining restaurants, what they're really creating is an experience. They're wowing you. They're exciting you with different things. They're giving you things that are going to create memories that you come back to. Your everyday cooking at home, outside of the odd special event, isn't going to do that. Actually, someone brought it up earlier, Baking Prof. Ramen noodles. I've done wheat noodles. I've done flour noodles. I've done pasta. I'm learning a lot of that right now. I don't have I have next to no experience with it. And so I'd like to make alkaline-based noodles at some point here. I'd also it's a lot of work, but I'd like to make buckwheat noodles at some point too. We actually just went through Noodle Week here at Baking Prof. So everyone, as far as Team Bone In, which is a bunch of culinary streamers there on Twitch, has just done a week of noodles. So maybe a minute before you see more noodles here soon. But there's a couple different methods of it too. There's a great video by what is the name of it? I gotta go look at the book now. the Mad Symposium. These guys, this is a collection of 10 stories from them. You notice. There's a great video of one of the past Mad symposiums or conventions where they showed one of the masters making buckwheat. Buckwheat noodles from scratch. Nice baking broth. Yeah, I hear that actually quite a bit. Yeah, unfortunately we have a fair amount of, like, people stealing content, like the two 24-hour Anthony Bourdain streams and the, the Iron Chef 24 hours. I doubt they have the rights for those. But there is a large force of us doing food and bacon here. Cooking and baking. Let's take a look at our bread here. I'm going to give that full time. We may be pushing it here. I forgot it with the lid on there. I think I went too far on this guy. But those just joining me, we have our wine from today. But I started this guy, I believe, a week ago today. We have here a ferment of backyard apples. I've got 5 or 6 apple trees back behind my small little 1-bedroom house here. And I mix those with some wildflower honey, cinnamon stick, water, and yeast. I do intend on filling it up the rest of the way here, but I do need to wait until some of this floating apple breaks down and falls to the bottom there. We got a battle ready. Let's see how we're doing here. I have, well, they're not mine. I rent this. They're my landlord's. But there's 5 or 6 different trees, and they're all different. I have Gravensteins. I know I have pink pearl. I forget what else. I think there's a Fuji, but the others are not necessarily supermarket brands. Gravensteins are the famous Sonoma County apple. There's our local heirloom. We have the Gravenstein Fest and the Gravenstein. We have the Blossom Festival and the Harvest Festival in the county. Uh-oh. This ain't looking good. I don't know if we got this, guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Let's try that again. We're in upstate New York. I spent the better part of 3 years living in Poughkeepsie, Hyde Park area. I traveled back many times to visit my folks in Michigan. Okay, I'm pulling this bread. Yeah. Add our second one to pan here. Second one in the oven. Minutes on the timer for the lid. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to create a flank here for trigger. Nice. Yeah, I've already forgotten the freeways, but I've taken the 10 many times north to, I forget what, to go up to Buffalo and end up at the QEW. Show you guys this first sub bun here. Nice. I think that's going to work lovely. There's some interesting areas when you get up there in northern New York where the highways go in between the valleys and the mountains. There's some good scenery there. Not that, I mean, all of New York is like, I mean, most people think of New York and they immediately think of the city, which is New York. But basically outside the city, New York is beautiful. Yeah, I haven't really gotten in. We haven't gotten any of our like fall leaves. Of course, my one poor tree out here. I got a tree that's normally like my season indicator to me, and it's usually the one that's like the first to put leaves out. It's the first one to change color. It's hurting so much this year. I'm feeling so sorry for that tree. Just didn't get enough water this year, I don't think. The last 10 minutes, I'm going to throw these meatballs in the oven. Allow them to warm up and have them all nice and hot here for with our 2 subs. Yeah. Well. That's always the issue. It's never yours trees. Even if you have trees, it's always your neighbor's trees that are littering on your lawn. Gonna be through my wine before I even get to dinner. Down to the last 20 minutes here. We got another 5-10 minutes here. I'm gonna roll AFK/ad break. And we'll be back to plate everything up and make it beautiful. So I will see you guys in a couple minutes. I'm going to take a couple minutes for myself here, use the restroom, that sort of fun stuff, and I'll be back.
What? Keeping the coffee in the icebox?
Yes, Mr. Jones, it's a new kind of coffee, roasted by a new secret process. Hence, this new none such coffee has a different flavor, a flavor preserved by vacuum packing, the flavor retained by refrigeration after the jar has been opened. Just taste it. You can't miss that delicate aroma, that clean, mellow taste. Yes, in cooking, the way to a man's heart is most of all through the coffee pot. In every jar, you'll find 3 special pointers, valuable in all methods of making coffee. Try new none such coffee now. Use half the jar. If not 100% satisfied, get all your money back from your grocer without argument. Special for movie week, only 28 cents a pound, plus 3 cents refundable deposit on the jar.
Schmidt's Blue Ribbon Bread gives you 7 ounces of non-fat milk solids in every loaf, the equal of 90 quarts a year if you serve it regularly. Every sandwich you make, every snack, gives you extra milk. For wonderful flavor combined with sound food values, serve Schmidt's Blue Ribbon Bread in the pantry pack.
Folks, why do you eat Wheaties?
We like it.
But did you know it's always been whole wheat with all the bran, and bran is one of nature's best sources of food fiber.
That's news to us.
Wheaties breakfast this morning?
Sure, it helps me feel fit.
But do you know Wheaties has bran fiber your body may need?
That's news to me.
Why Wheaties?
Oh, we love the taste.
I have for years.
But do you know for years you've been getting something extra for your diet? Bran fiber?
Well, that's news to me.
Wheaties. It's brand news.
A pleasure, Milton. In just a moment, we'll see how well Milton does at the Pentagon. But if you want to see busy hands at your house, just you offer this lively Christmas party dip that's so good to serve with king-size Fritos corn chips. Just follow the recipe right on the Fritos package. Of course, it calls for the famous Philadelphia brand cream cheese, an 8-ounce package, which we blended with 2 tablespoons of milk till it's nice and smooth, like so. Then come 2 tablespoons of Kraft cream-style horseradish for zesty flavor, a 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and finally, a dash of salt. And we'll blend our Philly mixture again. And when party time comes, let the folks enjoy this wonderful Philly horseradish dip with crisp king-size Fritos. There are those busy hands. Just remember, you make the best-tasting dips with the freshest-tasting cream cheese you can buy. Philadelphia brand cream cheese, made only by Kraft.
3, 2, 1, blast off. She's up. Come in ideal countdown control. Ready for second launching.
Atlas moving into position.
Fuel her up.
All set.
Countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! There she goes!
Yes, you can be in command of your own ideal countdown. It's a real electronic missile base. You sit at the controls and move missiles into place. You count down. You blast off. You track the flight. The ideal countdown comes complete with moon missile and lunar probe, as well as a giant atlas. Get your electronic ideal countdown now, wherever good toys are sold.
It's a wonderful toy. It's ideal.
Now, a new creation from Seal Test. Cottage cheese in ready-to-serve portions. Handy envelopes bring you brand new convenience and ease. Zip, it's open, quick and neat. Just the amount you need, the easy way to serve cottage cheese. The rest stays moist and creamy, ready for next time.
Are they handy? Cottage cheese in ready-to-serve portions.
So easy to use, quick, and no bother at all.
The rest stays really fresh, moist, and creamy.
Yes, serving cottage cheese was never as easy as this. Seal Test's new square package with handy, ready-to-serve portions. Zip, it's open. Simple as can be. The rest stays moist and creamy fresh. You'll love Seal Test cottage cheese in new, ready-to-serve portions. Get some soon.
If you've ever been to Venice, you remember the gondolas and the picturesque waterways. And you remember the food, too. Superb food, prepared with that very special Italian touch. The same special Italian touch that Chef Boyardee sauce with meat can give to your meals over here. Because the recipe for this tangy sauce has been brought over from Italy by this famous Italian chef. Chef Boyardee sauce with meat is made from juicy, sun-ripened tomatoes and tender quality beef, simmered in a spicy sauce that makes a rice and cheese loaf, a casserole, or a spaghetti dish a real Italian-style dish. So when you'd like to add that special Italian touch to your dinner, do it with Chef Boyardee sauce with meat. Try Chef Boyardee sauce with mushrooms, too. Both are prepared from the chef's own Italian recipe.
Here's the newest, most exciting sound in town. It's a General Electric blender that's going around. Completely new from base to lid. Take it apart, see what they did. The non-skid base is the lowest you'll ever see.
The decanter has a 36-ounce blending capacity.
The non-spill lid is really smart. For blending convenience, it comes apart. Add additional ingredients, if you will. Look, no splash, see no spill. Put them all together and you know it's true. The General Electric blender is best for you. If you want to know another reason why,
It's only 10 1/2 inches high.
stores easily on the counter or on a shelf. There's 1,000 things you can make yourself.
Make party spreads,
Great cabbage heads, blend the meatloaf for a family of 8. Make ice-cold drinks you'll appreciate. Now's the time for you to buy the General Electric blender.
Did he say only 10 1/2 inches high?
Next week, George and Gracie will be brought to you by Carnation.
Hiya, happy boy. Wish you'd been with me today. We saw a great dog show, some beautiful dogs. There was the handsomest poodle, a real beauty, an international champion. His owner gave me some good advice.
There are many dog foods on the market, but the Carnation Company makes the best. It's called Friskies, and it's quality all the way through.
You should have seen the champion collie. He won everything in sight. The handler told me.
A very important part of this champion's diet is meat. That's why we feed him Friskies. The principal ingredient is lean red horse meat. The best you can buy.
So happy, you're getting real quality, and you're going to get your Friskies right now.
Friskies is prepared to the high standards of Carnation Company and guarantees prime-grade nourishment.
When you have a Labatt's, you have an adventure. Canadian Light, that's Labatt's. It's a great new taste in beer. Enjoy import quality at USA prices. Have an adventure. Have a Labatt's.
Alexis Lachine wines are full of flavor. Alexis Lachine wines are dry. Alexis Lachine wines are mellow. Drink an Alexis Lachine wine with any kind of food. Or anytime you feel like relaxing with a drink. Alexis Lachine, fine French wines.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed some of my 1950s era TV commercials there. I've taken the cover off of the last loaf of bread, and I've put the meatballs down in the oven. Let those rest. I'm going to cut this guy open. See what we got here. That's looking like a nice loaf there. I'm happy with that. We'll reuse plates here. Let's get a clean plate. It'll look prettier for the Instagrams. Grab one more baking pan here. Piece of parchment. Our bread. And let's give our meatballs the full 5 minutes there. We'll let that rest. And once those 5 minutes are up, we'll do both of them actually. I'll cut the other one early. We'll load them up. Throw them back in the oven to melt the cheese. While we're at that, might as well get these out. I mean, how can you have meatball subs without actual Parmesan? Parmesan and chive, apparently. Good stuff with the sealed rind. Don't get the actual number here, though. Like on... these have numbers too, but most of your cheese, your location-controlled cheeses in Europe, they all have numbers and sources, and we can search them. And yes, cheese is most certainly essential. I mean, I only prepared a little bit for tonight. I think tonight we're actually gonna wrap up the last Stream Raiders battle on stream, and I'll finish it on stream tonight instead of afterwards. We're gonna line up pretty close here with getting everything done. Alright, Create Mode, thank you for stopping by. Everyone go check out Create Mode if you're interested in some freehand on-the-spot art stuff. Are you still doing the prompts regularly? Yeah, so she normally does, or couple times a week or once a week or something like that, does automated prompts and draws things at whim, depending randomly. Sort of cool. Two minutes. But for a $8-9 wine, I think this was respectable. I'll say it again. I think the Cab Sav was much better. That sort of blew me away the other night. But happy with this one too. Have a good night, Create Mode. Thanks for stopping by. landing area for our meatballs. Second loaf out of the oven. Not bad. I think I could do better with practice. First time doing a ciabatta style loaf. I'm happy with that. I think I could do better. Like I said, I think I sort of messed up the last fold on it. Take our meatballs out of the oven. Those are nice and sizzling. Nice bottom to it. Hot. Move my hand away at the end there because I'm trying to avoid the steam. Steam will really get you with burns. That's looking not too bad either. I'm happy with that. So we'll take you and you. Actually, we'll just take the bottoms, leave the tops. Oven's still roasting. We got some nice color on some of the top of these meatballs. Hey, what do you know? Subway 4 meatballs. The meatballs are just meat. We've got some leftover pork or leftover beef, about a half pound, and about a pound of beef, and about a pound of pork. The sauce I made myself earlier from Roma's and Farmer's Market tomatoes that I roasted off. Sauteed some onion, garlic, little fennel top, some Corno de Toro peppers, and blended that all together. Let's add ourselves a unhealthy amount of mozzarella on top of these. and we'll throw those in the oven. It's not something that I normally throw in my tomato sauce, but I bought, if you look on Twitter, I bought a, essentially a CSA box, or grab-and-go box from one of the farms at the farmer's market today. And so I have a bulb of fennel and some other things that, yeah, I've got them, so why not use them? I typically do put fennel in my stocks and a couple of other things. I sort of think of my own mirepoix when I'm cooking things as being 1 part onion, half part carrot, half part celery, and quarter part fennel. So that's how I like throwing fennel in things. I don't like fennel as a primary taste note. I'm not a big fan of anise. I love it in the background, though. Yeah, I normally, when I started this started the stream, I've been streaming about a year. I'm a former Mixer.com streamer. Microsoft decided to dissolve that, and so I'm here on Twitch. But I used to make stocks a lot of the time, and so that's a major thing that I did with stocks. It's been a long time thing for me. See how long we need here with our cheese. We're starting to get there. Starting to get there. Yeah. And especially something like this where typically you're using, like, I put a bunch of dried oregano, if only because I'm trying to get rid of it, in here. But it sort of fits in with that oregano basil note. It's sort of nice. Thank you. I'm sort of rooting for Pocky myself. But there's a lot of things that I can do with that compared to kiwi. Kiwi, and I'm sort of locked into tropical summer. But I'll do whatever you guys vote. I also welcome you to make your own suggestions. I'm interested in things that you think that I'm going to have a trouble using as an ingredient. I don't care what it is. I'm not so interested in you like trying to insult my taste buds. Like, I'm not interested in, like, okay, put the hottest sauce in something. I'm more interested in make it a challenge for me. Something that's difficult for me to use as an ingredient. Awesome, our battle's ready. Okay. That's looking good. Sorry, I thought I had both cameras on there. That's looking yummy to me. Let's do our battle while that rests for a minute here. So this is the last battle of the evening. Congrats, guys. Victory. And only with 3 of us. Congrats, Trigger and Head Mama Bear. Thanks for the help. Trigger with the gold. Awesome. So I'm going to leave that for our next stream here. Let's go back to our board view here. Let's grab one of these ridiculously cheesy meatball subs here. Trigger. Awesome. So real parma in there. Grab the proper top for you. Actually, it goes that way. Do a little mix up of salad here. We've got a little ranch dressing. A little Paul Newman's or Newman's Own ranch dressing here with our side salad. They're moving to mostly organic, but I've always sort of liked the brand. Not only because they donate their profits to charity, but because they don't put a lot of junk in their food. It's usually very simple, basic products that are very good. One of the few brands that I'll sit here and promote without them paying me money. So we got a simple salad, side salad. Go with our meatball sub here. Thank you for that follow, Horrific. I'm guessing at that pronunciation. Yeah, I gotta do some balance for that cheese. That's looking like a pretty good meal. What do you guys think? Let's take an Instagram pic here. Awesome. Hoagy. I can do that. Unless that wasn't right either. Let's see who we can give a host up tonight. See who we can give some love to tonight. Oh, we can turn that oven off. That'll make life a little bit better. Not so hot. Huh. That's odd that he's on. Let's give him a host. It's a little different for our Friday evening. He's not often on here on Friday nights. Do I not have the right window open here? There we go. Yeah, why don't we do that? Just doing a double check there to make sure it's... Let's go hang out with Clay Carrington. He's playing Forza. He's a great creator here on Twitch. Does a fair number of book reading. Does some game playing as well. Good guy, former Mixer streamer. Hope you guys give him a check out and a good follow. I'm gonna go and enjoy this gorgeousness. Give you a quick close up on this before we go bye-bye. I'm gonna go enjoy all of that. I hope you come back and join me on Monday, or on Sunday. Sunday, not Monday. Gonna be doing Italian sausage and black olive pizza, pan pizza, from scratch, using the same sauce that we used tonight. Should be fun. Hope you come and join me then. Have a great night. I'll be back on Sunday.